Welcome to Easy IELTS Shadowing channel. Practice speaking with me by listening carefully and shadowing to improve your fluency and confidence. The way we speak is often seen as a direct reflection of our language ability, but in reality, it is strongly influenced by the way we think. Long before words are spoken, ideas are formed in the mind, shaped by experiences, beliefs, and habits of thought. For this reason, improving speaking skills is not only about learning vocabulary or grammar, but also about developing clearer and more structured thinking. When people struggle to express themselves, the problem is not always a lack of language knowledge. In many cases, the difficulty comes from unclear thinking or a fear of organizing ideas while speaking. This is especially common among language learners who understand grammar rules but hesitate when asked to explain opinions or describe experiences in detail. One important connection between thinking and speaking is structure. When our thoughts are organized, our speech naturally becomes clearer and more fluent. However, when ideas are scattered or rushed, speech often becomes repetitive, unclear, or hesitant. Developing the habit of structuring thoughts even briefly before speaking can significantly improve communication. For example, when answering a question, speakers who take a moment to consider their main idea, supporting points, and conclusion are more likely to deliver a coherent response. This approach is particularly useful in IELTS speaking, where examiners value clarity, development of ideas, and logical progression. Another key factor is confidence in one's own thoughts. Many learners hesitate because they doubt whether their ideas are good enough. This mindset often leads to short answers or avoidance of complex explanations. However, effective speaking does not require perfect ideas, but rather the ability to explain thoughts clearly and calmly. Over time, I have realized that practicing speaking is also a way of practicing thinking. When I try to explain an idea aloud, I become more aware of gaps in my understanding. This awareness encourages deeper reflection and helps me refine my thoughts, which leads to more confident speech in the future. Language learning also influences thinking style. English, for instance, often favors directness and clarity, especially in formal communication. As learners become more familiar with these patterns, they naturally begin to organize ideas more logically, even outside of language practice. This shift can positively affect academic and professional communication. Another important aspect is emotional control. Strong emotions such as anxiety or fear can disrupt thinking and make speaking more difficult. When learners feel nervous, their thoughts may become disorganized, which affects fluency. Developing calmness and emotional awareness helps maintain clear thinking under pressure. This is why regular speaking practice in a low-pressure environment is essential. Shadowing, in particular, allows learners to focus on rhythm and structure without the stress of creating ideas instantly. Over time, this practice builds familiarity with natural sentence patterns, which supports clearer thinking during spontaneous speech. Listening also plays a critical role in shaping thought patterns. By listening to well-structured speech, learners absorb not only pronunciation, but also logical flow. This exposure helps develop an internal sense of how ideas are connected, making it easier to reproduce similar patterns when speaking. Another factor worth considering is self-awareness. When speakers reflect on how they express ideas, they gain insight into their strengths and weaknesses. This reflection helps identify habits such as overusing simple sentences or avoiding explanations, which can then be gradually improved. In addition, cultural background can influence thinking and speaking styles. Some cultures prefer indirect communication, while others value clarity and efficiency. Becoming aware of these differences allows learners to adjust their speaking style depending on context, which is especially important in international environments. The relationship between thinking and speaking is also evident in problem-solving situations. People who can explain problems clearly are often better at finding solutions because clear speech reflects organized thinking. This skill is valuable not only in exams but also in real-life situations, such as discussions, meetings, and presentations. Another benefit of improving thinking through speaking practice is increased adaptability. When speakers are comfortable organizing ideas quickly, they can respond more effectively to unexpected questions. This flexibility is highly valued in IELTS Speaking Part 3, where abstract topics are common. It is also important to understand that thinking skills develop gradually. Just as language learning takes time, developing clear thinking requires consistent practice. By regularly expressing ideas in English, learners train their minds to process information more efficiently. Mistakes should be viewed as part of this process. When ideas are not expressed clearly, it provides an opportunity to reflect and improve. Rather than avoiding speaking, learners should use these moments as learning experiences. Over time, the connection between thinking and speaking becomes stronger. Ideas flow more naturally, confidence increases, and communication becomes more effective. This transformation does not happen overnight, but it is the result of continuous effort and mindful practice. In conclusion, improving speaking skills is closely linked to improving the way we think. By developing structured thinking, emotional control, and self-awareness, learners can significantly enhance their ability to speak clearly and confidently. Shadowing practice supports this process by reinforcing natural patterns of speech and encouraging deeper engagement with language. Through consistent practice, learners can gradually transform both their thinking and their speaking ability.